I'm so happy to welcome Theresa Fuchs as my guest today. And it's super honored. She's a wonderful, brave, courageous, strong, beautiful soul that is walking her path. And I think her path is so inspiring that we want to share it with you tonight. So you see that it is possible to live your dream, to walk your path, to take the steps. And that's why I'm welcoming Theresa tonight. And at the end, she's also going to introduce her newest project. She's also going to do a webinar very soon, but more to that at the end. So you can also get into that. So hello, Theresa. I'm so happy you're taking the time and you're really coming here. It has been quite a journey, and I'm very honored that I was or am a part of this journey because I know your vision, your mission. It's so beautiful what you bring to this world. So, do you want to tell us about a bit of your story? Where were you a couple of months ago? What were your thoughts? How was your life like? How did you feel? So just tell us a bit of your story.
Yes, so I am very happy to be here, first of all. And yeah, I'm a teacher, or I was a teacher, I'm a teacher at a school where the next generation of kindergarten teacher get taught. So there are young adults between 15 and 19 years old, guys and girls. And I always wanted to do that. So it was a goal for me. And I reached it after my studies for education systems and professional teaching skills and methods at university. And in March, I decided to leave for now because yes, I am working in different education systems. So I'm a kindergarten teacher. It's my primary job. And yeah, I started 2019, yes. And I always felt that there's more. I have more to give. There should be more outcome, more quality for the pupils and the children learning processes. And I always got confronted with physical symptoms. So I acknowledge that my body and my um, energetical system don't fit together so well in between those classical yes structures. And I always feel there's a lack of energy, and I'm a very powerful and yes powerful woman. So I'm always willing to give it all and to give everything and to bring out the best of me and all the people around me. And the problem still was, or sometimes is, that I'm suffering because I ask myself, why can't I just fit in? What is wrong with me that it's not working um, as it should be in my eyes, of course. But yeah, and it made me mad sometimes to just fit in all the time, and that's not bad, or I don't want to say that all the systems are bad, or that that's wrong and it's not the best for the pupils. But for me, it's not that. Um, yes, it's not the version of myself that I want to live in my job, that I want to live to bring in this world, or to bring in this, to bring to the pupils, to bring out as my, yeah, it's not my purpose. So there's more for me, and I know it, and now I'm very sure about it after a long way and many hours of working and thinking and moving and yeah, meditating. So yes.
Yeah.
And I decided to leave my job. And that was the heaviest part of the journey so far, because of all the securities you have and the perfect working hours and the good income and colleagues. And yes,
Mm.
but for now it's clear for me. I want to start up my own business concept. And yes, I know it's a long way and there are a lot of experience to make. But yes, I'm ready for it.
Oh, amazing. And before we get into your vision, I'm just interested, how do you think, or how would you describe somebody, when is the right time to start walking this path? Or when do you think, when is the right time, but what was also where you said, now I'm going to do it?
Um, I think the right time walking this path, your path, is now, because it doesn't matter if you are 15, if you're 20, if you're 40, if you are 35, I don't know. The best time is now, because you only can change your future or your attitude or all your um or reaching your goals you're starting. So you have to start. And even if the first step is just the step to go to the phone and take a call to somebody who can help you, but you have to start. So I think the perfect time is now. And you have to, well, for me, I learned you have to be aware that sometimes there are small steps, sometimes there are bigger steps, sometimes you make great steps and you don't even know that you have done um, so many yes, so many uh so many progress. And then there are times you're putting in the work and you're thinking, yeah, and go, and it's just, in the end, it's just that much. So it's such a, yeah, it's such a crazy way. Sometimes it's crazy, sometimes it's like magic, sometimes it's really exhausting, sometimes you're thinking, oh no, what I'm doing. But I think the only way working is through. So you have to go through yourself first, that you are even able to take the step. So I think, in my opinion, you have to start where you are, that you are, and you have to imagine the version you want to be, that you are able to go there, that you're able to reach it. So yes,
And
now.
what was your turning point? When did you say, okay, now is enough? Now it's really like, I have to just change. I have to do something now. What was that point for you?
The turning point was when I told myself, now it's enough. So it's enough of this old pain, it's enough of these old stories, it's enough of all these I don't know, what is Ausreden?
Uh, just to good question. Sorry for our English speakers. We just have to translate this now.
To
Excuses.
when
Sorry.
there's no, yeah, then when
All the
there's no
excuses.
excuse, because all my whole body, my whole brain all was screaming, just stop um that version of yourself.
Mhm.
And my turning point was when there was a, yeah, when I made the experience that I was looking in the mirror, and I saw my eyes, I saw my face, and I just thought, no, I'm not that way. So it was also the point where I trust myself again, where I really trust um my inner point of, yeah, when I was trusting my soul again, I think.
A
And not
beautiful.
trusting all the opinions from my family, the opinions from my friends, from what I should have I don't know, reach but that's not me. That was not me. That was the society. That was the all the belief systems we are growing up into.
Yes, beautiful. And I don't know, can I share just a little, just a small, something small? I remember when you made the decision, how your face changed and your eyes started to sparkle, and you were like, you started to shine out of it, like you shine now. You're like, oh, your life, like when I look at you, you're just shining, and it's so beautiful. And so what would you recommend somebody in that stage of where you were at, when you were still in the system in school, where you tried to fit in, where you tried to adapt to the surroundings, but not listen to your inner self. So what would you recommend somebody in that stage? Because we have a lot of people who are right there right now. And what would you tell them?
That it's always worth going beyond your going beyond the um the attitudes you have before. So going beyond your boundaries, going beyond the boundaries you have in this moment. To just take this one step outside of the old boundaries, because then your brain and your body acknowledge so you have done it. Because otherwise you are always in this circle of of doing the thing, all the things again and again and again. And I always return to this point where again this state, again this mood, again this feeling, and then da 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 da, and then again da, and then, and at this point where I take the decision, I think the final point was taking the courage. So saying yes, and then saying there's no point of return. So as you say to me, there's no point to return. And I think it also was a good way to set a high point of return. So with this, leaving this job, it's a point of return where many other decisions are made, because it changes a lot. It changes a lot with one decision. And it's hard at the beginning, but it helps me in the following weeks, or it helps me with the following steps, or taking the following steps more easy.
Yes, beautiful. I can feel you. I mean, for everybody who's watching who doesn't know what the point of no return is, it's also one of my favorite processes, is to say, okay, set something or do something where there's no way back. So really to quit the job, or to make a phone call, or to reserve a space in the fitness studio, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be that big and that intriguing, but just something, the next step where you can't go back anymore. You have to do it. And I also love doing it because then you can get through fear. For me, it's a way to get through fear. So my question to you is, because I was really talking to a lot of clients in the past days, and bottom line, it always comes down to fear that they don't take the next step, or that there's, why they don't do the project or quit their job or whatever it is, or follow the path they want to follow. So what do you say to fear, and how do you overcome fear?
Yes, fear. I had a lot of fears in these moments where you take decisions, because that's the normal human. Yes, it's human having fear, and it it takes it takes I needed a lot of honesty to myself. So being honest with myself and saying, okay, that's your way, that's you. And I observe a lot of people. They are talking about they want that and they wish to be that and they want to be eat more healthy, or they want to go there and they want to take the trip. But at the bottom line, as you said before, they are just changing nothing and they are always doing the same things again. And for me, that's like a lie to myself. So I'm always, when I'm doing it again and again and again, I'm lying to myself. And that brings more fear to me. And I'm scared when I'm just lying to myself all the time. So first of all, I do a little wave up. So okay, when I'm staying in this old circle, there are a lot of fears too. So why not going this way and taking these fears where my feelings are saying yes, but you will overcome these fears. So it's also about a lot about a feeling, the right feeling, as I also feel a lot, and I'm yeah, following my intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And another method of overcoming fear is that I'm asking the fear, okay, what are you going to tell me? What will you what are you why are you here? So I'm just saying, okay, you are here again, and what will you tell me? Because I don't think that fear is something bad. I'm in my point of view, fear is like a, yes, like a good old friend, or like a like something that will tell you, okay, be careful and look at the things that the fear is telling you, maybe like financial securities, or your own security, your health system, or to survive. In the end, when I'm thinking about my trip with my backpack, for example, I also have fears when I go there alone. But what is fear telling me? Fear is telling me that I have to be careful when I'm going out there alone, and I don't know, maybe there are wild elements, or I don't know. So it's also a reminder that we should yes, be aware of all the things that are that have an impact on ourselves, in this case on my way, on my um, human being or human experience here. But yes, in the end, I just have to say, okay, go through. So I'm feeling it. I am I take it. So I'm not saying, okay, there is no fear, because I think that's not a very efficient strategy. So it's here. I am aware of it. I go through it, and yes, I can just say you can get through. So it's not, yes, it's nothing you cannot uh manage to overcome.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So yeah, so you overcame your fear, and it, like, for me, it was also beautiful to see that, like, the whole process, and it's just so amazing where you're going and your vision and everything. So maybe you want to share where the journey is going. So what is your vision? What are your next steps?
Yes. So um I have launched my website some days ago. So
Congratulations. We will post the link under in the comments so you can look at the website as well.
yes. And there are some steps or some experience to go through. So I will start with, as in the near future, I will start up with one-to-one coachings to work individually with people, with parents, helping with stressful situations in their common life, because I am working in this yeah, in this field for 5 years now,
Mhm.
and I'm always very interested in supporting them very individually. So I think every family system, every child, every couple of parents, so also the the parents themselves, everyone or each of them are their own system, so they have to be supported individually. For me, there are bigger, or there are professional methods, of course, but then you have to go individually to them, working with them, supporting them to really come to this outcome they are wishing for. And they are so, sometimes they are so willing to have it, but they just not able to get there because there's nothing what is I don't know what they can reach for. So have sometimes they don't know what the goal is, and sometimes they have not the the best strategies to go there. So I think there are some missing points for this, or missing aspects to make it, to bring more quality into the family, and furthermore to bring more quality to the kids and the pupils progresses and processes. So the long-term mission is founding an individual or a school system, maybe, or a tiny and very professional school system for children, for the youngest one, so between, I think, 3 to 10 years old kids, because I think that's the most important time in their lives. And they are so, I think this time of your life, and when I am looking at the children, it's the time of their life, I think. So they are everything they are made up in their adult life. You can create in this space of life. So I want to introduce some very professional methods and very natural methods, very simple methods, which creates a lot of efficient strategies where children can learn on their own. So I think they have to learn how they learn, right? Because how they feel their bodies, how they can go out and create their lives, so that they are just not this in this state where everybody, yes, and you make this and okay, and I also will do that. So that everyone comes to the place where he or she or the child should be, and be supported in what they really are and what they really want to become. So they are motivated to live, that they are motivated to live their full potential, that they are motivated to go out, to move their bodies, that they are feeling themselves, that they are living themselves, and that they are willing to learn. So sometimes I look at the parents and the children, and all they have to say, or all they tell you in the morning when they are coming, is stress, or is it's so they are so weighted down. And I don't know, I don't think that's the future for the kids. So I'm very global thinking and long-term thinking, and I, in my opinion, that's the only purpose I have to bring in this world. And I see so many possibilities to live it. So yes, there are many experiences to come, and that's the way I will go.
Yeah, and Theresa will also make a webinar very soon. It's going to be in German. So for all the German speakers, which is a lot in this group, you will have the opportunity to join her free webinar end of June. What day is it in June?
On 21.
on the 21st of June. Sorry, I will also be there and join. I can't wait to hear what Theresa has to say about it's one side, it's like climb the inner mountain. So it's about how you can really transform in the inside and bring it to the outside. And it's dedicated what I understood for parents and parents who also how to deal with their children and how to get the full potential out of children and success-oriented people, people who are in the social system or in the system and the social system, like teachers or I think nurses and all these kind of serving constitutions. So please, we're also going to share the link in the comments. Sign up if you feel the call and if you feel like you want to join. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing experience with her. So your vision is to bring the potential of children outside and help in the family systems to get order into the systems so there's less stress, because I know a lot of parents who are super stressed with their children and with their life, and they're totally overwhelmed. They don't know how to deal with all that. And so you help children, you help the parents, and you also are very successful in sports. So you have a very big achiever mentality. So people who are very sports driven, people who have this kind of mentality of achieving, of reaching the goals, are invited to join this webinar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I do add to your
Mhm.
introduction,
Please.
because it's also about strengthening their personality, and that's also important for sport achievement guys, of course, or girls. And I think we can do a lot in this manner, or in this file, in the early year, as in the early childhood years, because if they are training this mentality in the early years, it's very helpful in the upcoming years. As it's also the experience of my own, because that's always the experience you have deep down your soul, you have deep in your mind. It's you all saved it sometimes, and then you can always put it out, and yet it's you are a much more strange personality, and it's more essential than everything else from my point of view in this flexible and global world. So yes.
Yes, beautiful. And of course, children that are very intuitive. So, because we were mentioning achievers, yes, but also, children and parents who have a very intuitive approach. Because Theresa, like how I see you, is really this balance between also intuition and achieving, which is beautiful. And I think this is what the world needs. So if you would say something, or if you would give one advice for how the people who are watching could start living their purpose or doing the first steps. I mean, it's a similar question than before, but maybe more general. What advice would you give them, or what would you tell them to do?
First of all, there have to be awakening of more awareness. So getting aware of what we are living, what you are living, what you are doing every day, so that you are getting aware of what you are. So that was the first step, I think, because without this awareness, you have not this huge opportunity to change things.
Yeah.
Because you have to be aware that this transformational process. If you want to change, you have to go through this change. So to come from A to B, there's a lot of work, and there's a lot of there are a lot of experiences, and you have to be aware of the fact that you have to go through this. So there is, you have to pay the full price. You have to pay with your body. You have to pay with your, with all your the
I
resources
agree.
you have,
Yeah.
that you, in, yeah, in order to get to this change, to this point of change, that you really feel and have this change. And no matter if you're speaking from partnerships, from family issues, job issues, reaching your goals, so there's always something you have to go through.
Yes.
And yes, it's about leaving old belief systems behind, and always have to be, always know that there is something waiting on the other side. So there were some points where I thought, oh no, now it's over. So now, there's no way that you can go this step, but it's always working. There's always a further opportunity, always, there's always, yes, it always goes further, 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 further. And you have to train your mind that you see all this further, 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 which sometimes feels like, okay, back, back, back. You all, or not feels good, it not feels good all the time, but that you are aware of the fact that it's your process, and only you can go through it. And no matter if it feels good or bad, or if you're seen for it or not seen for it, or if you are, yeah,
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
alone, if there are, if you're
Well,
in a big crowd, but you
yeah.
have to,
Yeah.
yes, you have to go through it and do it. And in the end, bringing it into the body and saying, okay, I am, and I live it.
Yes. I totally agree with you. So I think the biggest myth that a lot of people live is that they think one day they will stand up, they will all of a sudden be fulfilled, and they live their purpose, and everything is just only wonderful and beautiful, and there's nothing, no uncomfortable feeling anymore in the life. And also, when I think about my story, walking my purpose and living my purpose, it's there's days where I'm like, oh my God, but and it's normal because it's a process of growth, as you said it, of expansion, of really stretching yourself, and that is so important. And I've also made the experience, because for me, I also always had a coach. I mean, I've spent so much money into courses, coaches, and I have a psychotherapist, I have a body therapist, I have a business coach, I have all these things, all these people supporting me. And it took so long to actually receive this and really say, okay, I'm allowed to get help. I'm allowed to be also supported, because a lot of people think they have to do that alone. They have to walk this path alone, and it makes it very lonely and it makes it even more difficult than bringing people together. And that's why I'm so happy you're sharing your story and you're doing what you're doing, as well as I'm happy what I'm doing. I'm doing.
Yes, it's
Uh,
good.
so yes, thank you for sharing. Is there anything you still have the feeling you want to say that, or you have the feeling this is something I really want to share?
I think you mentioned a good aspect, because of the society you are living in. I think you have to surround yourself with people, or that's really, really important, where you are, where you feel home. So where you feel seen, where you feel understood,
Yeah.
and honest people, um, who tells you, okay, not that way, or okay, go here and take the courage, or yes, it's hard, but go further, because there's something waiting for you. So you have to surround yourself with people who really supports you. So you have to be very critical, I think, but also walking the path with trust. So because otherwise it's getting so hard sometimes, or it's so overwhelming. So it's always this balance between taking the courage, but also be aware of the fear, or also go through the fear. Always this weighing up the pros and cons, and in the end, taking the step and says, "Okay, come on, and now it's time."
And it sounds so easy when she says it. And
Yeah, it's hard.
actually, yes, it's hard, but at the same time, it is also easy once you made the decision. I think it's like it's all about, the more I noticed in my life, the more I started going through these processes and doing these decisions and walking through fear, the easier it got and gets. But yes, so thank you, Theresa, for joining, for taking the time, for inspiring so many people. Thank you that I was allowed to be on your side, joining all that process. It was a
I
huge
thank you so
honor,
much.
and so for me it was really a blessing, and it's, it's, yeah, together we are stronger, and it's just beautiful.
Yes.
So yes, have a beautiful evening. For everybody, the links are down in the comments. And
Thank you so much, Charlotte, for everything. And you're doing great work. Really,
thank
really
you.
great.
Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And yes, thank you.
Bye.